오늘 생방송 중에 불미스러운 사고가 생긴 점 저희가 머리 숙여 사과드리고요. 다시는 이런 사고가 일어나지 않게 저희가 주의를 하도록 하겠습니다. 진심으로 다시 한번 사과 말씀드리겠습니다.
This is a story about the worst day in Korean music history. In 2005, indie bands were gaining a very big following. This was the golden age of Korean indie with bands like Deli Spice, 언니네 이발관, 자우림, Crying Nut, No Brain, all getting mainstream attention. TV stations were seeking for the next big indie band, and in MBC Music Camp, which is the M Countdown type of music show that they had back then, there was a special segment that was dedicated to introducing hot new indie bands. On July 30th, 2005, a punk rock band called Rux was set to perform on the stage of Music Camp. To make the stage look more lively, they invited other bands to sing and dance in the background with them. They had absolutely no idea what they had coming for them. Oh boy, two of the people in the background, one from a band called Couch and another from Spiky Brats, took off their pants and jumped around with their dicks flailing. And this was broadcasted live to everyone in Korea on a peaceful Saturday afternoon.
진짜 너무 충격적이었고 진짜 공중파 방송에서 어떻게 그런 일을 할 수는 진짜
외국인이었을지도 모른다. 우리나라 사람들이 아니었나 보다.
Now, the dicks are blurred out here because I don't want to get myself banned on YouTube, but back in the day, MBC had pretty revolutionary broadcasting technology in Korea at that time, and they were broadcasting this in full HD, 1080p, 60 frames per second glory. So you could see every little inch or every little detail of that flailing penis. No doubt that this was not part of the original plans. Rux members, who were the main performers of that stage, said in interviews that they had no idea that they were going to do this, and they were also shocked to see the two flailing penises. The police investigated them for public nudity and tested them for drug use. The two eventually got sentenced to 2 years in probation for public nudity and business obstruction. There was no drug use, apparently. Music Camp was cancelled, and Show Music Core, which is the show that we have right now, still to this day, was launched in its replacement. Furthermore, the saddest part of the story is that MBC outright banned the appearance of any indie bands on their shows from 2005 to 2009 until Jang Gi-ha made a very huge splash in the mainstream with his debut. The rest of the major TV stations also lost trust in indie bands and followed similar measures of heavily restricting, if not outright banning, indie bands from being on TV. The general perception of indie bands among the public just dropped below the ground. They were viewed as this evil, unsafe form of music that kids shouldn't listen to, and probably adults who are listening to it also have a very dirty mind, thinking flailing penises and shit like that. So basically, flailing dicks ended the golden age of indie music in South Korea. A funny personal story, July 30th, 2005, that was actually the day that I came back to Korea after living in Canada for a very long time. I was like, in middle school, grade 8, grade 7 at that time. Literally the first thing that I see when I come off that plane into the airport, there was a TV playing the news. And the first thing that I see, I still very vividly remember, it was this exact news. This was the first thing that I saw when I came to Korea. So I was like, damn, Korea is hardcore, man. I was like, man, I'm very eager to watch Korean TV. Unfortunately, that was the only appearance of flailing dicks in Korean TV history, or at least the only one that I know of. And I never saw flailing dicks after that. That was a very shocking introduction to Korea, you know? Just think about it. The first thing you see is this news of flailing dicks on national TV. If you really like my radio voice and you also like the idea of me being nude while recording my radio voice, I do that every other week on Patreon via my exclusive podcast series. I have a bi-weekly podcast series that is exclusive for Patreon members.
On that podcast, I talk about K-pop, pop culture, and also politics, society, etc. It's like a 40-minute to an hour-long podcast. I usually record them in nude, but they are in audio, so...
Just imagine me in a bunny hat, all nude, recording a podcast while you listen to that. So don't you want to listen to that? Don't you want to do that? Yeah, I bet you do. Go check that out on patreon.com/DKDKTV, and I will see you guys next time.